Well. World-class veteran video game critic Michael does life. Oh, Michael.
Alrighty, folks, our Starfield coverage continues, and today the Metacritic scores, the user scores on Metacritic are going to unleash very soon here, I believe at the top of the hour. So it's going to be very interesting to see where this one lands. Right now on Xbox, it's a 3.6, and you can't just make an account to make a review. It is behind a paywall, the reviews are. So either if you're a Game Pass subscriber or if you bought the game, that is the only time you can review the game on Xbox, and it currently stands at a 3.6. I sincerely doubt people just signed up for Game Pass to review bomb it on Xbox. That makes no sense. So it currently is a 3.6 on the Xbox store, and that is terrible. That is terrible. But, you know, quite frankly, I mean, you know, it's a sad situation, I'll tell you. So 34% of the reviews are at 5 stars, and 23% rather are at 1 star. We tried to play Starfield last night. We fell asleep almost. Just can't handle that game. I mean, I don't. But we do have an idea for later tonight. And it could be very interesting to see. So I'll let you in on that a little bit later here in the show. And we'll have to see how the cookie crumbles with the Metacritic.
Miles Kino super chatted $6.99. Popping that cherry. BTW Todd's performance review of this game is disgusting. Him slightly insulted honestly.
Yeah, Todd Howard came out. They said, why is the PC version so unoptimized? And Todd Howard said, basically, buy a new PC. I mean, he's not totally wrong. Guys, you have to understand these games, they don't optimize these games for PC. And as such, you have to have, you know, the latest and greatest to essentially run it in a way that makes sense because they're not optimized. You have to have that headroom. So if you're working on a GPU that, you know, came out 5, 6, 7 years ago, it probably won't hold up that well.
Apocalypticism super chatted €5. Mackle, left magnifying glass, 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 left magnifying glass.
It's a 3.6 on Xbox.com, so I don't know what that tells you, but not a great score.
Left magnifying glass, left magnifying glass.
Not a great
starting
score.
to show. Left magnifying glass, left magnifying glass. She doesn't love. Left magnifying glass, left magnifying glass, left magnifying glass. Sweetheart, left magnifying glass, spaceman.
It can run this slop on high settings. Well, a lot of people don't have that hardware. You know, a lot of people are coming from older GPUs and stuff, and they maybe, quite frankly, do need to upgrade, you know? I mean, if you're still working with like a 1060 or something, like, yeah, that ain't going to get you too far in 2023. So I would say a 30 series or above for modern day gaming. And even a 30 series at this point is, for certain games, I mean, you have to have the latest and greatest, and that's why sometimes it's just best to get the game on console. Arthur Morgan coming through. Hell yeah, by the way, appreciate it. Brand new member. That's what we're talking about. Member up, folks. Hit the like button. Share the stream. If you can come through and go above and beyond, we do appreciate that as well. Currently on Xbox.com, it is a 3.6, and we are waiting for the Metacritic user scores, which is going to be a total shit show. So the Metacritic user scores release at the top of the hour, and we will be waiting for that. Yeah, well, it reminds me of the Don Matrick situation. You know, they asked him, if you don't have online, I mean, what should you do? And he basically said, buy an Xbox 360. You know, that's a console for you. You can play that offline. Kind of reminded me of that. I mean, he wasn't totally wrong, but there's better ways to put it. Yeah, I mean, we've had a hard time talking about this game. People have sensitive feelings towards this game. I don't understand why, but you know, the double standard, especially for this game, is outlandish. It's crazy. You know, it's okay to criticize every other game, and you know, the new Saints Row Slob, the new what was another game? Redfall. It was okay to criticize Redfall, but it's not okay to criticize Starfield. You know, that gets a pass. It's Todd Howard. It's Bethesda. So.
Clad in Shadows 99 super chatted $10.
Shadows 99, Clad in Shadows 99 coming through with a 10. Hell yeah, by the way, appreciate it. So at the top of the hour, the Metacritic scores are going to release, and we will see how that unfolds. The Xbox score is on the screen from the Xbox Store, 3.6, terrible score. But then again, most games don't do that well on Xbox, for reviews anyway. If you look at every other game on the Xbox Store, they're really low, so. Runs great on Series X. I disagree. The game runs like trash. I was expecting a solid 30. It's not even that. I don't know what you get. I don't know what you guys
Official
are playing,
Source
but my
Straw
Series
super
X can't
chatted
handle the game.
$5. Unleash the beast in a way that makes sense. Todd is a chat. They can't handle it. World Class told you gaming was dead, but you didn't believe it.
I can't wait till this game is old news, and you know, we're going to have to move on very soon because Cyberpunk is right around the corner. Lies of P, plenty of other games to cover. And, of course, October is a big month as well. So there's a lot of stuff coming. There's a lot of stuff happening, and we will be moving on from Starfield because a lot of people around here just literally cannot handle it, and it's very odd and very
super
weird.
Chatted €5.
I'm not going to stop. So.
Todd just said you don't have good enough PC to load the next generation AI.
Yeah, Todd Howard
not
came
enough
out
CPU
said that,
for those
hey,
NPCs
if you have
to act like
an
in
old
real
PC,
life.
get a better one. I mean, that's what he said. I'm surprised he answered the question, to be honest. So it's just the reality of the situation. I've tried to show you the cracks. Will the narrative change if Crobecat comes back and makes a video? I'm not entirely sure. I think they have set they put their foot down on this one, and they've planted it there, and that's where they ultimately stand. And it doesn't matter what you show them. They have this. You know, it's okay to like games. It's okay to praise them, but let's not, you know, do this hypocrisy thing when it's like, okay, we'll criticize every other game because there's a lot of toxic doomer bullshit in here, because people don't understand the show. They really don't get it. They mistake passion for hate, and it's not that. But you know, people criticize a bunch of other games and they start saying, oh, these other games are so trash, they're so slob, garbage. But you can't criticize this one; you'll be canceled. So. I'm not really sure what's going on here, and I've noticed the bias Noi Games Media has they've joined the shill team as well. Alana Pierce, who else? David Jaffe, you know, a bunch of other celebrities on YouTube. They've all joined the shill campaign for this game. When it's very clear and evident, like it's literally their worst title they've ever produced, like objectively. But you know, you can, you know, have your opinion. I mean, you know, just like people have their opinion about if we went to the moon. I mean, clearly we did, but people don't believe it. So I don't know. You're welcome to have your opinion, but I'm not sure what to tell you. Maybe just don't tune in if you guys can't handle these shows. That's why I want to move on, because this is a sensitive game for certain people in here, and we're kind of burning bridges a little bit. And I don't know why. over an opinion over a video game. And it's like, well, if it comes down to that, are you really a fan? I don't know. You know, I've been critical of every game. I've been doing this for literally years. This isn't anything new. You can't handle it? Well, come back when we cover a different game. There's plenty of other games coming out. We got to move on very soon, as this game is waning in terms of interest. No one's really caring at this point. The floodgates have opened, and I've shown you the cracks. I mean, I've already completed the game. There's nothing left for me to really say or do. But, I mean, I'll jump back in probably for the remainder of the week and maybe more. We'll see. But, you know, it's not something that I want to play. It's not something that I have fun playing. It's very boring. The quests are boring. The game has a lot of shortcomings, limitations. Todd Howard lied this time around, more so than ever before. So it's a sad situation, but people don't care, and that's why this industry is in the shape that it's in. They want to slap a 9 or a 10 out of there so they can boost their subscribers. You know, that's a big grift right there. That's what that is. You know, they say I'm grifting, and it's like, I don't even know what the fuck that means, really, to be honest. If someone sharing their opinion is grifting, then I guess we're not allowed to share opinions if they're not popular. The people that are grifting are the popular opinions that cater and pander to the general consensus to conform and have that, you know, instant validation and approval from their peers. So they're the ones that are grifting, but you don't see it that way. They're pandering and they're catering to the general consensus for subscribers. They don't want to lose subscribers. So it's really a sad situation. So the 3.6 on the screen is from Xbox.com user scores. The 3.6 is from Xbox.com user scores. And the Metacritic scores are coming very soon at the top of the hour. So in 30 minutes, the Metacritic scores are going to be unleashed, and it's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out on Metacritic. I'm assuming the show campaign is going to go pretty hard over there as well. I have never seen a worse game from this studio, period, end of story. You can't show me a worse game from Bethesda Game Studios. You just can't. And it's not about the NPC thing. Every time I show an NPC in a video, everyone's like, well, they're immortal. No shit, you can't kill them. That's not what it's about. You're not even understanding. They don't react realistically. There's no reason for you to defend such
it's
garbage
so very
slop.
sad. Super chatted $5.
Fucking hell.
We need a new game to talk about. Starfield is just boring. Bethesda slop consumers are going to eat it up like manna from heaven no matter what.
Yeah. I mean, as a Game Pass game, you know, I'll cut it some slack and say, well, if it were exclusive to Game Pass and there was no way to buy this for $60 or $70, then I'd cut it some slack right then and there. But that's not the case. As a Game Pass game, sure, you know, I think it fulfills that Game Pass kind of itch. But outside of that, you know, all of the people shilling this and their attempts to shill this, like they're trying to show it off in like this really stupid way. It's like, oh, this is impressive. And it's like, that's not really that impressive. I just found my copy of Cyberpunk. And it's literally, and I played the day one patch, which no one has, by the way. So this is a world exclusive. I'm not even trolling. Because we have the day one patch for Cyberpunk installed on the PS5. So we're going to be playing the PS4 version of Cyberpunk with the day one patch, 1.02. Not the day one, not the day zero edition right off the disc, the day one patch, what came out on December 9th, 2020. And so we have that installed on the PS5, but we're going to be running the PS4 version with the day one patch installed. So this is literally something that no one else could show you. And Starfield is a total abomination. Okay, let me just put it to you that way. It is insanely bad. And if you guys want me to boot both games up tonight, I can. If you guys want me to boot both games up tonight, I can. We have Cyberpunk with the day one patch installed, not the PS5 version, because, you know, obviously there was no PS5 version at that point in time. If you thought Cyberpunk was bad, Starfield is light years behind it. And I'm talking about the day one edition. I'm not talking about the latest edition that everyone's showing. Everyone's making these Cyberpunk videos and they're showcasing it versus Starfield. They're not showing the day one edition of Cyberpunk. So that's where we come in. We can show you that because we still have it installed on the PS5.
Miles Kino super chatted $6.99. Michael, please play Oblivion today. I can't watch Starfield today. It hurts my intelligence.
Yeah, I mean, I can't handle it either, to be honest. There's just no good quest. There's no, everything is, I've already explained it time and time again, day after day after day. If you like it, great. That's fantastic. I'm glad you can lower your standards to a point where you can just consume slop. But this is their worst game. And the fact that people can't see that or don't want to see that is quite disingenuous, because it's a double standard. It really is. It's a double standard. You have to realize that this is their worst game objectively. You take my opinion out of the equation, you take myself out of the equation, and it's just the facts. And if Chromcat makes that video, oh man, they might try and cancel him again. So sad. You can't have an opinion anymore. That's why I like going to 4channel, because people just say whatever the fuck they want over there. There's no other platform that allows you to do that, especially in the games realm. You go on Reddit, it's all an upvote, downvote system. You go on Twitter, they'll fucking cancel you. So you can't really share your opinion anywhere else. Not about games. If you have an unpopular opinion, they'll fucking silence you. You know, I remember discussing Resident Evil in the official Resident Evil Discord, and they banned me immediately. They just labeled me as a troll and said, fuck off. How am I a troll? And now the new gimmick from the shills is concern trolling. That's what they label it as, concern trolling. So someone being concerned about something is just automatically trolling. Everything just equates to automatically trolling or clown. Like, what the fuck is that shit? That's insecurity. Grow up and get a job. I've worked real jobs before, okay? I'm sorry you haven't. Jesus Christ. Immature gamers, just weirdos like, oh, I worked with Todd Howard. No, you didn't, so stop pretending that you did. It's ridiculous. All right, folks, at the top of the hour, the Metacritic scores are going to be up, and we're going to be checking those out. And it's probably going to be a big shit show. But the Xbox scores are behind a paywall, so you can't just make an account and review. Drop your review like that. You have to either subscribe to Game Pass or buy the game, I believe. So with that said, that's where the score stands, 3.6. 3.6. Guys, I've shown you time and time again, this is a step backwards in every single way. Even Fallout 4 is better than this game. And it's on the same engine. So, Skyrim wasn't even on the Creation engine, which I believe is just, probably a game. What's the previous engine that they used? Biro, or whatever the fuck that shit was called. We've shown you the reality, and people can't handle it. Oh, you're just nitpicking, you're playing the game wrong. And it's like, well, okay, I guess we're not allowed. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear opinions from these losers anymore. Because you guys have double standards. You're not allowed to critique this game. You're not allowed to say anything bad about it.
Snurf super chatted $10. Everyone with 50+ hours says it's amazing. Anyone under that says it's bad.
I put more time into it than that.
Had 30 hours.
I put more time into it than most.
I'm at 36 hours and not even close to 10% of quests completed.
Okay, it doesn't matter. It's quantity over quality. That's the recipe of the game. I'm done with these shills. Quality over quantity. That's what you guys prefer. Great. I'm sure game devs are noting it right now so they can, usher in slop. That's how Ass Creed was so successful for so many years. Now they're pulling it back. They're pulling it back, and it's going back to its roots. And honestly, I'm more excited for the new Ass Creed than I am Starfield. Any game.
Apocalypticism super chatted €5.
That's a better Game Pass game than this.
In GTA San Andreas 2004 game, you can play pool, skydive, play roulette, fly planes, do motorbike stunts, play basketball, gang wars.
Yeah, even more than that. Yeah, even more than that. Well, that's what all needs to return in GTA 6. And the anniversary for GTA 6 is in about 10 days, GTA 5, rather. The anniversary for GTA 5 is coming very soon.
Big Boss 6,568 super chatted £5. World class, world class, world class, let's go. At the end of the day we are all gamers, who love art and respect good storytelling. Sub to this man.
Yeah. I'm done, though. I'm done. People cannot handle this. I don't know why. It's never been like this before. The show campaign for this game is very crazy. It's a very crazy show
Todrick
campaign,
Long
bro.
super chatted $5. Hey Mackle, I'm enjoying the stream.
Cool. Teddy Long coming through. At the top of the hour, we will be looking at the Metacritic scores, folks, so we are live for that. And we will be potentially, we'll see here, comparing Cyberpunk to Starfield tonight, but we don't just have the standard edition of Cyberpunk. We have a very special edition of Cyberpunk that no one else has, because there's no way to get it anymore.
Jake super chatted $5. This game makes me beyond depressed about the prospects of Elder Scrolls 6.
Yeah, I have no interest in their future releases. I'm not even trolling. Until I see something that actually impresses me, I have no interest in Elder Scrolls 6 because they're going to, it's a testing. I mean, generally this game does have good reviews, don't get me wrong. It shouldn't, in my opinion. I don't know what people are seeing in this. I think they're just seeing something, they wanted a big dub for Xbox because it's been so long since they've gotten that dub. And the Xbox shills just went crazy with those scores. But forgot what I was going to say. So at the top of the hour, folks, we are going to be looking at the Metacritic score. That is the user score on Xbox, 3.6, and those reviews. You can't just make an account on Xbox to review things. So I'm not saying they're not trolling on Xbox, but I don't know why they would troll. That wouldn't make much sense because you either have to subscribe to Game Pass or buy the game to review it, I believe. And that makes no sense why they would troll like that. But nonetheless, it stands right now at 3.6 on Xbox store. And we'll have to see how the cookie ultimately crumbles. Yeah, and every time I show those videos with the NPCs, they're not understanding. It's not about how they're immortal. I'm reacting to the fact that they're not reacting realistically. And people are just saying, oh, it's a bug. And it's like, I don't think that's a bug. I really don't think that's a bug. It's a lack of incompetence on the programming team. Skyrim literally has more sophisticated, advanced AI. And I'm assuming Fallout 4 does as well. I might have to double check on that. And that's on the same engine, so there's no excuses. Fallout 4 is on the creation engine. There's literally, if can anyone confirm in here, do the NPCs have schedules in Fallout 4? Because if they do, this is objectively a downgrade. But you want to chalk it up as if it doesn't matter because that's your biased narrative. Then don't review games. Don't criticize games. If you can't have a fair and balanced look at these games, then don't talk about it. Lords of Fallen. Please show it like there's no tomorrow. I don't know what that is. Is that Dark Souls clone? When's that coming out? There's a lot of releases coming very soon. And I know one game that I will not like, and it is coming in October. I am looking forward to the new Ass Creed, although I looked at the preview gameplay and I wasn't overly impressed. But hopefully the living, breathing city of Baghdad, or wherever they're at, is at least interesting enough to keep me occupied. Now, I'm not asking for the NPCs to be on schedules, but they should at least be reactive, and I think that is something that devs need to at least focus on. If the NPCs can't be on schedules and stuff like that, then at least make them reactive to what the player's doing in a certain kind of aspect. Yeah, the Cyberpunk, the Day 1 edition of Cyberpunk, which we do have on the PS5, with the Day 1 patch installed. This is Cyberpunk from 2020. No one has it. You can't get it anymore. It's impossible to get. Because we're going to be running Cyberpunk on the PS5, but it's the PS4 version with the Day 1 patch installed, 1.02. So it's the patch that came out on December 9th, 2020, which you can't get anymore, especially on PS5.
Snurf super chatted $10. If you don't like Starfield, then just stop gaming. Best game you will see
toxic
for the next
take, buddy.
50
That's
years.
a toxic take. We're not allowed to critique anything anymore. So every reviewer needs to just shut down their whole site because guess what? They're not allowed to review games anymore. They're not allowed to have opinions anymore. They're canceled because it doesn't fit their narrative. It doesn't fit the general consensus. You guys willingly click on these fucking videos knowing my take. My take has been clear for a while now, and you guys come in here on a daily basis and you got tears down your face. Why? You didn't work with Todd Howard on this game. Why do you have such an emotional attachment because you grew up with these games? Well, then you should be sad. You should see the slop that I'm showing you. You should understand that this is their worst game. Well, you're not playing it right. You just roam around aimlessly. That's a security blanket. That's what that is. The game touted unparalleled freedom. That's blatantly not the case. But even if it is, if I have unparalleled freedom, then, I'm going to do what I want within the game. Sorry. It's not your play style, but it's mine. Tough luck. Alrighty, folks, at the top of the hour, we will be 15 minutes, and the Metacritic scores are going to be up, and it's going to be a shit show, folks. Whew. I played the new Madden, and I thought it was better than Starfield. There's a lot of people that hate Madden. They're grifters. I played it. I didn't see what was wrong with it. I didn't have any bugs or glitches. I mean, I've streamed the game multiple times, I'm not making things up. We never ran into any bugs or glitches. The only time, well, actually we did. There was a game that we should have won, and it just didn't work. So that was very weird.
Apocalypticism super chatted €7.42.
Apocalypse Now coming
Stop
through.
The count.
That's what we're talking about. Apocalypse Now coming through. 3.6 on Xbox.com. 3.6 on Xbox.com. And let's not even talk about the wokeness. Not doing that. The hypocrisy in here with that. Let's not get started in that direction. Because I really don't want to go down that road. But the hypocrisy in here is staggering. It's a big problem with Baldur's Gate 3, how woke that game supposedly is. But it's not. This game right here is not woke. Starfield's not woke. Okay, buddy, make that make sense. This is probably one of the most woke games that I've ever seen. And I'm not getting into why.
It's so very sad.
Yeah, it is.
Super chatted $5.
It really is.
It's easier to fool people than to convince them that they have been fooled. They buy into
I'm not
hype
trying to
and then
convince them.
double
The
down
footage
and
is
dig
right
their
there.
heels in.
When the Krobcat
It's
documentary
sad.
comes out, I'm curious to see if people, and it probably will. I mean, I don't know Krobcat, so I can't confirm or deny if it's coming. But what I can tell you, if Krobcat does make the video, I do believe the narrative will be changing, because he produces shit that is worth watching.
Official Source
And
Troy
that,
super chatted
makes sense.
$5. Mackle, if you need someone to try NBA 2K24 against, I volunteer.
Oh, Lord.
We will show them the reality of the basketball situation
Lord.
in a way that makes sense.
Well, I was thinking about covering that, but I don't know. I mean, the gameplay looked actually pretty fucking real, bro. I saw some gameplay from the broadcast cam, and I thought the animations are really fucking smooth. So, the new FIFA is coming out as well. There's a lot of games coming out, folks, so we'll see. We'll see. But, I mean, my Starfield interest is at an all-time low. I mean, the only reason I'm playing that game again is to compare it to something else that's better. and Cyberpunk Day 1 is better. I mean, obviously that game wasn't anything what they promised, but it's literally more advanced than Starfield, and people are giving Starfield a pass. Why? Because it's Bethesda? Okay, but people are they're not remembering the old games.
Trump super chatted $15.
They're not remembering the old games.
What are your predictions on Starfield's score on Metacritic?
It's going to be pretty low initially.
I predict a 5.3 to 5.8.
Well, I mean, look, on Metacritic, you can just make an account and go crazy. On Xbox here, it's behind a paywall, I believe, to a certain extent. So I think initially the scores are going to be pretty low. Joshua Trump coming through with a $15 super chat. I think the initial scores are going to be pretty low, but the shill campaign is really strong with this one. In fact, it's a little too strong. I mean, Cyberpunk, I could see why everyone was hyping that up. It had, like, actual celebrities in the game, and there was a massive marketing campaign, and it's like, okay, I mean, we get why they're shilling it. But this thing right here, it's like this is literally objectively Todd Howard's worst game. And it's get the NPC bullshit out of your head, okay? Just understand how the game flows, the systematic nature of the game. everything is about it is worse, literally. So I'm done with it. I'd rather play Skyrim. I'd rather play Fallout 4. I'd rather play Oblivion. I'd rather play any other Bethesda game, even Fallout 76. I'd rather play, even Fallout 76. Would literally rather play that. At least it has soul. And I'm assuming by now it's a little bit better. I don't want to play Starfield. It's a lonely experience. It makes you feel depressed. I had to turn the music down. Everything is lifeless. Everything feels like fucking cheap plastic cardboard. Everything's gimped, half-assed. I'm not playing slop like that. You got 4 major cities, and that's all the content, just as I predicted. Okay. You're literally never not surrounded by procedural content. One of the worst games I've ever played. Not even trolling. Like, it's just bad. And people are comparing it to Fallout New Vegas now. Let's not. Fallout New Vegas was made in 18 months. And, look, I'm not saying Fallout New Vegas is perfect. I think the ceiling for that game is a little high, too. Because it is an older game. But we can cut it some slack because it's on the older hardware and because, it's an older game. It's a classic. I mean, I don't know about that, but, it's an older game. It came out, 15 years ago or so? So it's an older game. It's not, I don't think, considered vintage yet, but, eventually it will be. And when you have games that are more sophisticated back in the day, it's just like, what are we doing? I mean, in Fallout New Vegas, the NPCs are on schedules, and you have the ability, not all of them are immortal. So you have the Bethesda kind of simulation stuff going on. Now, granted, it's not like super fucking detailed because it's an old game and there's less dialogue probably in the game. But with that said, and the animations are a little bit more stiff and robotic, but with that said, there's still something there that is not present here at Starfield, and that goes from Oblivion all the way up. I mean, from Oblivion to Fallout 4, you're missing so many features. I mean, it's not even funny. Starfield is the most woke game, and it's not just because of the pronouns. Okay, I don't want to talk about it because it's a heated thing, but I'm going to tell you this. The hypocrisy in here is staggering, okay? They want to call out Baldur's Gate 3 for being woke and all of this stuff, and it's like, well, we're not going to support Baldur's Gate 3 because it's woke, it's trash. And it's like, well, wait a minute here. Are you playing Starfield? Are you not seeing how woke it is? Why does that get a pass? Because that's about as woke as it gets. And it might be outsourced, too. I don't know if anyone confirmed that or not, but if you go look at the credits for Starfield, there's a lot of other studios on the credits list. So if that's why it's such trash, then yeah. I mean, maybe they realized they couldn't finish it and they called in help. They called in other studios to help make the game, probably during COVID. So I just hope they cut back on that procedural crap for Elder Scrolls 6. But, by the time that comes out, I mean, maybe they'll find a way to implement the Chat GPT, NPC AI stuff or something. Because that'll be another probably 8 years at minimum for that game to ever see the light of day. Elder Scrolls 6, that ain't coming anytime soon. You know what I mean? They announced that in 2018. Like, they just had to finish this up, wrap it up. And they'll, I'm assuming, move on to the Elder Scrolls 6 next. But, man, they can't fuck that one up because that's a big fucking franchise. That's their golden goose. You can't fuck Elder Scrolls up. I mean, Starfield, yeah, we can, chalk it up as this, like, experimental game, this dream game from Todd Howard that maybe didn't fully land. For some people it did, and that's great. But for a lot of other people, it maybe didn't land as well as they would have hoped. But Elder Scrolls 6 it's like their GTA. I mean, that's their golden goose. So it would be pretty hard for them to go in and fuck that up. But knowing the current Bethesda, I wouldn't put it past them. So in my opinion, I think they're going to have to go back to their roots. I think if they were to implement kind of the functionality of Morrowind and mix it with the elements of Oblivion, I think that would be the best way to approach it, to be honest. Just fuse those games two together, and you'll have a fantastic recipe there. Morrowind meets Oblivion combined into one. Boom. There you go. The functionality of Morrowind, the depth of Morrowind versus the, fused together with the Radiant NPC AI that is seemingly stronger in Oblivion than it is in Skyrim. And sort of that the home, it feels like it feels like people actually made the game when you play it. I don't know how to describe it. It doesn't feel corporate or soulless. Doesn't feel like a machine made the game when you play Oblivion. It feels like, okay, you can tell like a couple of hundred people, if that even, came together and made this thing possible. I love the fact that the nature of Oblivion, where you just, the more you do, the more you level up. Fantastic stuff. All right, 3.6 on Xbox.com, and at the top of the hour, the reviews should be out for Metacritic user scores. So that's going to be a shit show, but we'll have to see here. Well, if they do Chat GPT AI in Skyrim or in Elder Scrolls, they will. What will they do? Internet would be required unless they can figure out a way to locally do that. So I don't think that's the best route. But I mean, now that they're on Xbox, they don't. Everything's DRM over there, so it's all always online bullshit, pretty much. Yeah, no, I'm not saying you can't enjoy anything anymore, but it's too extreme in here. I'm extreme with my viewpoints, you're extreme with your viewpoints, and you're not alone. I'm not singling you out. I'm just saying there's a lot of people in here that like this game, and they're mad and they're upset. And it's like, maybe you guys can sit these streams out. I mean, eventually we're going to be moving on, but I don't want to hear you guys criticize games anymore because you guys have these double standards. Like, the mods can't even show up in here because they're offended about my take on Starfield. Why? My mods can't even show up anymore, because they obviously don't agree. Because they'd be watching if they did. They don't agree, and then they secretly pretend to. No, that's bullshit, bro. You guys don't agree. That's okay. That's okay. But if it's going to get to a point where it's not okay and you guys, are going to, like, pack your bags or something, then, yeah, I don't know. I guess I can't continue talking about what I want to talk about here on my channel. I don't know. It's very odd. I recommend sitting this stuff out until we move on to a different game. Next week there's releases coming out, and we're going to be covering that. But I'm not moving on right now because it's still fucking brand new. There's still things that we have to show off because no one else is doing it. So, if the Chromecap video releases, we will be very much so looking forward to that and checking that out and reacting to that. But I don't know if that's coming. And, maybe he decides to not make the video. I mean, but there's plenty of comparisons out there. They're just not that great. And tonight we might be comparing it to Cyberpunk. There's a lot of comparisons to Cyberpunk out there, but they're not showing the Cyberpunk that came day one. I do have that version still installed, and it's not the one that just came right off the disc. It's with the day one patch installed. So that is a very rare version of the game that you probably can't get anymore anywhere. It would be impossible, especially on the PS5. I have it on the PS5. So we'll be running the PS4 version of Cyberpunk on the PS5, and it doesn't have the issues because of the SSD. I mean, it has issues, don't get me wrong, but the rendering issues are basically squashed because of the SSD. And again, this is the PS4 version running on the PS5 with the day one patch installed. There's no footage of this. So we will have an exclusive tonight. We will be comparing it to Cyberpunk, and you're going to be surprised. I thought Cyberpunk was bad. Oof. Might be time to apologize. I mean, I've already compared it to Skyrim, Oblivion. I mean, in Oblivion, if you go to someone's house, and that's the thing in this game, they don't really have houses anymore. They literally kick you out. Like, if you go into someone's house in Oblivion and just wait there until, like, nighttime and then resume the game, they will come up to you and say, hey, get out. And they do that in Skyrim as well. But I don't know if it's as complex. Because in Oblivion, the NPCs do not disappear. They do not disappear. In Skyrim, I'm not entirely sure. I did some testing, and I can't... I would have to test it again to 100% confirm, but I think Oblivion might have the edge with the NPC AI and the Radiant sort of NPC stuff they have going on in that game. It's still in Skyrim, but I think it was toned down a tad bit. But I do know in Skyrim, when you go to the tavern and you sit down, she comes up to you, and I thought, this is fucking unbelievable. And I thought, people were bitching about Skyrim in 2011, like, all the NPCs are wooden and hollow, and it's like, guys, you don't understand. I mean, we've gone so backwards. It's not even funny. I mean, if you sit down in the restaurant at New Atlantis, they don't even come up to you. Nothing happens. I mean, it's the most soulless game, bro. It is so bad. And again, it's like, okay, well, if we're just going to play a looter shooter in disguise, let's not play this. Cyberpunk as a looter shooter linear story, Cyberpunk is better. You know, because they both wanted to be RPGs. Obviously, you know, Starfield has a little bit more of that, but it's still very gimped and very sidelined because it is a looter shooter, more so than anything. That's really what it is. It's a linear looter shooter with persuade options. That's about it. Okay, well, no one was asking for that, but the audience today, they love that stuff. They love playing Destiny. They love playing Borderlands. They love playing all these looter shooter games that are such slop. I don't play games like that. That's a waste of time. Alrighty, folks, what we're going to do is we're going to pull this up on the screen and start refreshing because it is time to see the user score for Starfield. And here we go. We got this up on the screen, folks, at home, and I'm going to tell you what, this is going to be a shit show. So we're going to be refreshing it here shortly. At the top of the hour, we're going to be refreshing it here shortly as the user score for Starfield is approaching. So let's go ahead and give it a refresh here. Let's go ahead and give it a refresh and see if the user scores have been unleashed, and not just yet. So we're going to be waiting for that, folks. We're going to be waiting for that, the user score for Starfield on Metacritic. It should be time. It says 2 p.m. Whoa, what the fuck? Holy shit, what is going on, bro? Clicked on the ad, I guess. So we got to go back and fix this. It's not working. Cool. All right. Let's go back here. Give me a moment to get it back up on the screen, and let's see what the Metacritic score, user score rather, is for Starfield. Well, this is going to be, I mean, I can't. It's not fully functioning here. Let me see if I can find it a different way. Baldur's Gate 3 at 97 on PS5. Holy fuck. Dude, I think that's even higher than the PC version. Holy shit. God damn, bro. I just wish the combat on that were a little more accessible, man. That shit would be fucking banger. All right, here we go. Starfield. User scores are still not up here. Let's get off. Let's double check. Let's go to the PC. 12 p.m. Pacific time. When is that? That should be right now. So the user scores, we're still waiting for them to get up on the screen, and I'll put this back up. We're waiting for the user scores to appear, and hopefully they appear soon. Well, Baldur's Gate 3 respects the gamer's intelligence, and then people, I don't know why the hate fan base is so strong. I don't understand. Apparently it's woke. I don't know what people hate about it. I mean, how were the older Baldur's Gate games? They were made by BioWare. Why did they stop making them? Because Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, I believe, were made by BioWare. Baldur's Gate 3 is not by BioWare. Now, obviously, BioWare of today isn't the BioWare of the old. I think they just did, some layoffs as well, so that's not great for the future of Mass Effect. Let's go ahead and refresh, folks, and see if the user score is up. Still not up. So we're waiting for the user score on Metacritic. It's a 3.6 on Xbox.com. It's a 3.6, and those are scores that you either have to buy the game or be a Game Pass subscriber, I believe, to make reviews. So it is sort of behind the paywall. Metacritic, we're waiting for the user scores to pop up here. Oh, if Baldur's Gate 3 had people like that. That's what people
400 super chatted $5. You know what? I have all the consoles. The one game that really sticks out in my mind is Inside. Something about that game really slaps.
Yeah. Yep. Pretty great experience. All right, we're going to go ahead and refresh the Metacritic score here. Yeah, nothing. So I don't know what's going on, but there's seemingly a delay because it should be 12 p.m. Pacific time. Is the Premium Edition upgrade not the Starfield base game itself? That's not true. That's not true. This is a screenshot that I just... No, that's not true. I'm done with these fake narratives from these Xbots, okay? I tried to root for your fucking console for so long, but you guys make me want to jump to PlayStation and shill the fuck out of that. I have a PlayStation. I've always been with PlayStation, okay? I'm not a fanboy, though. Now, if you were to ask me what I prefer, if you were to say, hey, Michael, pick one console, what would it be? It's going to be PlayStation. Sorry. But that's not true what you're saying. Because I just took that screenshot from the Xbox store. That's not something from Twitter. I just went to the Xbox store. This is it right here. It's a 3.6. Don't argue when you don't know what you're talking about. That's not for the Premium Edition upgrade. That's for the Standard Edition. I'm literally on the website right now. $70. Reviews, 3.6. Cope and seethe. All right, let's go ahead and refresh this here. Still no user scores on Metacritic. I don't know what's going on, why there's such a delay, but nonetheless, it is what it is. I mean, if the game were great, I would have fucking chilled it, you know? I mean, I would have said great things about it, but unfortunately, you know, I mean, it just didn't work for me. And that's okay, you know, for most of you it does work. But, you know, and I can tell because you're not in here. You're not in here chatting. So you can't handle it. We can't handle different opinions, and that's sad. You know, humans can't, I guess, coexist with each other. It's like, well, that's over an opinion on something that's entertaining. Come on, dude. It's ridiculous. It's like no one worked on the game in here. Like, why do we have such convictions? Like, you didn't work with Todd Howard, you know? It's not like Todd Howard's your fucking uncle or something, bro. Jesus Christ. It's like he's not going to become your friend if you say the game is bad. Holy shit, dude. I mean, look, as a Game Pass game, I think Starfield succeeds in that department, sure. As a Game Pass game, I think Starfield succeeds in that department. But, you know, it's okay for everyone else to pick out the horse testicles and Red Dead 2 and all these other small little fucking minute details that have zero tangible impact on gameplay and praise that shit, put that on a pedestal. But when you know, come from the opposite side and say, wait a minute, this game doesn't have the small details, that's not okay. But it's okay to pinpoint those things out when it's positive, not when it's critical. Guys, I have solutions for Bethesda. If they want to give me a call, I'll pick up the telephone. It's not that hard. This isn't destructive criticism. It's constructive criticism. Especially when things were better in previous games. Oh, they don't matter because, well, I got 1,000 planets. Okay, cool. Let's not discuss that because, well, let's not go down that road. I was playing it last night. I went to different solar systems, and it was all a snooze fest. Even some solar systems didn't have anything. The only way you can tell if it has something, if it has a logo on the fucking planet or the 3 dots implying that there's something there. There were at least 2 solar systems that had literally nothing. So it was totally pointless. It was totally pointless. Guys, if you are new here, please consider subscribing to the channel. Please consider subscribing to the channel. And tonight we might be showcasing Cyberpunk versus Starfield. Now, I know there's tons of videos on that, but we do have a very special version of Cyberpunk, and that is with the Day 1 patch installed, the PS4 version. But it's running on PS5, so we don't have those rendering issues. And you'll be surprised. It might be time to apologize to CD Projekt Red because, I thought Cyberpunk was bad, bro, but... Starfield's a whole different behemoth. I mean, don't get me wrong, Cyberpunk is a total disaster, an unmitigated one, but Starfield is pretty up there. It's pretty up there. And the shilling for this is unfathomable. All right, let's go ahead and refresh the Metacritic, folks at home. Let's go ahead and refresh the Metacritic. Still nothing. I don't know what's going on. I am assuming it's time. It should be 12 p.m. Eastern, Pacific rather. So I don't know what we're waiting for. I'm not sure what we're waiting for, folks. Couldn't tell you. I like to nitpick games because I like all video games. So no one's allowed to critique games anymore, is what you're saying. Nitpick, by the way. So you're supposed to just sit down and consume and conform. Shut up and eat your popcorn. That's the situation you're trying to push. Oh, don't criticize the movie. Shut up and eat your popcorn. Okay. It sounds like it's a you problem. Did you tell that to Gene, Roger Ebert and Gene Sitzel? You didn't. You didn't agree? Too bad. That's his take. Fuck off. I'm done with these losers in here. You guys need to grow up. There's 45-year-old virgins in here fucking in tears because I was in tears. I cried over this game. I looked at the waterfall in Skyrim and I looked at the waterfall in Starfield and I literally almost came to tears. In fact, I kind of did. Not fully, but halfway. Because the game's trash. And it's a testament to how this industry has just hit rock bottom. I mean, if I had the knowledge and skill to make a game, I would be making a game.
Joshua and Trump super
there's a lot of
chatted
mathematics in
$5.
there, and I don't know how to do math.
It's truly sad to see Starfield rated 12th Xbox game of 2023. Wasn't this the console seller?
No, because it didn't work. Yeah, we're still not seeing the user scores on Metacritic. We're still not seeing the user scores on Metacritic. Guys, I've shown you time and time again. It's not a Sony fanboy thing in here. I've been very critical of PlayStation movie games. But you can't tell me that The Last of Us 2, and let's not talk about the story. Put the story aside. Put the characters aside. Look at the actual technical gameplay prowess of The Last of Us 2, and just note that that's a PS4 game. And when you look at Starfield, it's literally worse than Fallout 4. It's literally worse than Skyrim. It's literally worse than Oblivion. It's worse than Fallout 3. This is their worst game. But we don't want to see that because we're in the honeymoon phase. Well, I guess we can't talk about. I don't want any of you guys criticizing any game going forward. Because you're not allowed to. Because you've shown your hypocrisy. You can't stay neutral. You want to pick a side. We're not picking sides in here. So when the next Cyberpunk release comes out and you hate Cyberpunk, I don't want to hear your mouth. I don't want to hear your mouth. Because according to you guys, it's always positive. So we're going to have to shield every release going forward. Not allowed to critique, not allowed to nitpick, not allowed to say anything that goes against the general consensus. We have to shill in here, and that's the new era. We are shilling. Consume today, lock your pre-order in. And the fact that people put $300 down on this game, holy fuck. Where are the user scores? Where are the user scores? You know, I criticized Red Dead 2, and you guys couldn't handle that either. In fact, the fucking engineer at Rockstar North blocked me. Why? I was helping him. But he wanted to be surrounded more than likely by yes men praising his fucking woke cowboy game. No! They did not talk like that back in 1889. Okay? It is a dumb game. It's a stupid story. And the gameplay loop is so fucking boring. You do the same mission over and over. It's worse than Starfield. Don't even get started on that fucking game. Yeah, cool graphics and cool half-ass simulation aspects. But the game is a snooze fest. I don't like Arthur Morgan. He's a loser, especially the guy that plays him. He's fucking woke as shit. I'm not resonating with some loser cowboy. I don't care. That's gay. And if the fucking character is written so woke, the motherfucker just sits on the fence on controversial issues. Pick a side. Have balls. Tell your story and do it. Don't just have the character sit on the fence. Well, I don't have an opinion on that, mister. Shut up! Fucking insult to my intelligence. All those Red Dead games are trash. I hate Red Dead. I never liked that franchise. I played the fucking first one on PS3 when it came out. I fucking was bored out of my skull. I hate the characters in those games. I don't resonate with those fucking weirdos. Okay? Those games are trash. But I had to lie to myself and convince myself to like those games. GTA is at least somewhat better. I don't want to play cowboy fantasy bullshit. I don't care about Western slop. Get out of Red Dead. Go to GTA 6. Show me the future of this fucking medium. I don't care if it's woke, because everything is anyway, and it gets a pass now. Starfield's one of the most woke games of this year. More so than Baldur's Gate 3, because at least Baldur's Gate 3 gives you choice and freedom. This is just shoehorning it right in, and you don't care. Like, oh, that's not woke. I love the game. Fuck you. Whatever, dude. I'm done with it. In Cyberpunk, you don't even pick your pronouns. And that's just the tip of the iceberg in terms of the woke themes in Starfield. But I'm not getting any deeper. And the fact that you don't care in here is very hypocritical. Very hypocritical from certain people in here. At least 5 or so individuals. You know, oh, we voted Trump, you know. I'm not getting political in here, but it's just if you can't see what you don't want to see, then I don't know what to tell you. So we're waiting for the Metacritic reviews, user scores to come out, and they're not here. So they're not here. No, I'm done. I don't care about Red Dead. I don't like those games. I never liked Red Dead 1. Even Red Dead 1 was boring to me.
Official Source Troy super chatted $5.
And that was woke too.
Been here a long time.
Yeah.
Reason being, even when your take isn't popular, you own it, and I respect that. Know that you just want gaming in a better place.
I've been doing this for literally over 11 years, you know? So, I don't know what to tell you guys. Baldur's Gate 3 is unironically the better product. Yeah, I think that's very obvious and apparent. Now, granted, it's not for everyone, and it's not totally accessible. You know, you have to kind of get into that combat, and that combat does take time and strategy. Even on easy mode, I got my ass whipped, and I said, well, I like the game. I really do, and I appreciate, you know, the freedom and choice that you have. It's kind of an RPG. I mean, it really is. This is what we're looking for. Now, the combat for me is kind of a turn-off, but I said I'm going to give it some time. And, you know, it's a tricky game to get a hold of if you're, you know, not... If you're new to that sort of gameplay, and you have to have a lot of time with that game. You know, those combat scenarios, they can they last a long time. But when it's like, you know, one player versus you know, it's a hard game. I'm not going to lie. Baldur's Gate 3 is a hard game. I mean, like I said, if it had the Witcher type combat, like if they had like a casual mode or something, or like, you know, not a casual, but more of an accessible combat mode or something, that shit would be a fucking 20 out of 10. Just for the freedom and choice. I mean, I've seen it with my own eyes. It's not someone saying that to me. I've seen that cutscenes play out differently and different dialogue and shit, and it's like, holy fuck. Based off of that one little thing, everything changed within that specific interaction. That was interesting. So... Yeah, I got problems with Red Dead 2. I've already talked about those problems in 2018. Plenty of videos on that. Red Dead 2 has a lot of problems, okay? Red Dead 2 has a lot of problems. I don't like Red Dead 2. I don't. I mean, I really don't. I don't like Red Dead 1. Those games are boring. I mean, they have their moments. Sure, I'm not going to say that they don't, but I'm not going to roam around and just do nothing in those games because that's all you don't do anything in those games. You know, and in Saint Denis, they don't have NPCs on schedules. Go follow an NPC around in Saint Denis. How do they despawn the NPCs? Or they just stand around? That's the problem with the game. They just stand around. There's no animators in there. What? Let's just not even discuss this stuff. All right, folks, we're waiting for the Metacritic user scores. I don't know where they're at. I guess we have the time wrong here. I don't know what's going on. They should be up, though. They're not up. Let me go to the PC version here. Let me go to the PC version. Hit the like button, folks, if you can on the stream here. Hit the like button, folks, if you can. Subscribe right now if you haven't done so already. We stream this slop daily. And tonight we might be putting it up against Cyberpunk, but a rare version of Cyberpunk that you won't see anywhere else, literally. So, and it will be more of a fair comparison, although Starfield is probably still worse because I tested some things out already, and it's like, damn, I didn't remember Cyberpunk being, you know, it's like, well, shit, we thought this was bad. It's like, holy fuck. Why do all of the NPCs have to be on schedules? Because that's been the case since Oblivion. You stupid fucking idiot. It was there for literally decades. Over a decade. From Oblivion to Skyrim. Fallout 4, rather. From Oblivion to Fallout 4, that's over a decade. It's been in there since a decade. Over a decade. And they remove it. You don't care. Because you're a consumer. You want to line up to the buffet and consume. I'm done. It's a feature that's been a staple since Oblivion. And it's gone. Follow the NPCs around in Starfield and you'll see that they don't really go anywhere. They fucking disappear. The game is trash. Okay? It's not a Bethesda Game Studios game. Okay? It's not Todd Howard's dream game. It's a bunch of bullshit is what it is. So take that shit and shove it up your ass and smell it. Because it's going to smell like shit. You just put it up your ass. I'm done with this NPC shit. Oh, you're not playing the game right. You're playing like a fucking stupid idiot, like a weirdo. Yeah, you're the fucking weirdo for not having expectations. Shut up and consume, you idiot. Buy Baldur's Gate 3. I was going to buy that game in spite, but it doesn't have a physical copy, and that I thought it was going to. The user scores are coming. Here we go. Here we go. The user scores are coming. The user scores are coming. This is going to be unbelievable. One more refresh, and I think we're going to be able to see the user score for Starfield. Let's go to the Xbox Series X version. Be the first to review it. That's a bunch of bullshit. Why is this website so fucking broken? Why is it showing the fucking weird edition? Whatever, dude. Well, let's give it a few more minutes here. So let me guess, when GTA 6 removes the strippers and all of that stuff, you're gonna be okay with it? Is that the gamers of today? They just don't give a shit anymore? You know? And they're gonna praise GTA 6 for saying, "Oh, GTA grew up finally. You know, the frat boy culture is over." Whatever, dude. Is that really what's gonna happen? Because if it is, I'm not buying it. Okay. GTA 6 has to be everything they've done before and more. It's a $1 billion game. No excuse. And I think in some ways it will be. I think in some ways it will deliver. You know, people are just talking about shark cards in the online. Who cares about the online? No one cares about GTA Online outside of stupid idiots. Mature gamers don't fucking play online. That's for weirdos. Online gaming is for weirdos. You want to play with strangers? No. You don't talk to strangers in real life. Why would you want to do that? Well, I don't play with strangers, Michael. I play with my friends. Then go outside and do a real activity together. Sit around and play these stupid games.
Sugar Cookies super chatted $4.99. Taylor Swift didn't like Starfield. Front-facing baby chick. Front-facing baby chick. Front-facing baby chick.
There you go.
Front-facing baby chick.
Why do the NPCs?
Front-facing baby chick.
The NPCs don't need to have schedules. The fast traveling, the space travel doesn't need to be good.
Front-facing baby chick.
My 1,000 planets.
Front-facing baby chick. Front-facing baby chick. Front-facing baby chick. Front-facing baby chick.
Well, I just can't wait until the Crocat documentary drops.
Front-facing baby chick. bacon,
done with it.
bacon,
You know, no one wants to listen.
baby chick, bacon,
Tired of it.
front-facing
I show you
baby
the game,
chick,
I show you the cracks, and you guys just say,
chick,
oh, you're on crack.
front-facing baby
Michael
chick,
does math.
front-facing
Shut up,
baby
you
chick,
stupid loser.
Front-facing baby chick, front-facing baby chick, front-facing baby chick.
Why are we not seeing the user score?
Bacon, front-facing baby chick.
Sitting down here for much longer. Fucking battery will be dead time the fucking shit pops up. Oh my God, where's the user score? They're getting so many reviews, it's not even going to update, I guarantee it. So sad. Well, it's got a 3.6 on Xbox.com. You don't believe me? Go to the Xbox website right now and type it in. And it's not the premium edition upgrade. Okay, bro? There's no way. It's a 4.7? Where are you seeing that at, bro? Where are you seeing that at? I'm not seeing anything. Why does Metacritic do this? Every time you guys see it first, why is Metacritic doing this for me? Well, you guys are going to have to look for me because it's not going to update over here for some reason. It's not a 9.1. I'm downvoting that game. Fuck that bullshit. No, it ain't a 9.1. Fuck that bullshit, bro. It ain't a 9.1, bro. It ain't no. No, it's not a 9.1. I'm making an account right now. I don't give a shit. I'm giving this shit 1 star. The fuck? You guys are making shit up. I'm not seeing anything. Fuck off. 9.1, by the way. It's not a 9.1. The game's trash. Private tab. This fucking website's trash, bro. It's not a 9.1. It's not a 9.1.
Max May super chatted $4.99. I've got a bad feeling about Elder Scrolls 6.
Yeah. Yeah, it ain't going to be... There's no reason to even care about it at this point. Guys, I'm looking for it. I can't find it. Where are you seeing the 9.1? I don't see it. Nope, it's not a 9.1. You guys are literally... Go back to 4channel and fucking shill it. You know, the shill campaign is so fucking strong. I thought the fucking Shazam bros had a fucking base take. But, you know, they can't be bothered to fucking fight against the shill campaign because it's so fucking strong. You know, the NPCs don't need to be on schedules. You're just playing the game wrong, Michael. We don't need that anyway. You're not playing it right. You go to that blue check mark over there, Michael. That's what you're supposed to do. How dare you try to have a version of New Atlantis or any other city in Starfield? Yeah, how dare I play it how I want to play it? You know, geez, what a fucking weird concept. Oh my God! Holy shit! Oh my God! A 4.7! That's a lot better than a 9.1. Hey, can I just score it right now? Or do you got to log in? Let's be fair. I'm going to say a 6 out of 10. Maybe a 5. Oh, yeah, you got to log in. 4.7, bro. Holy shit. The gamers are speaking up. This game is something that needed more time in the oven. Guys, I don't want to hate this game. I'm not a Bethesda hater, okay? I'm not an Xbox hater, okay? In fact, I root for Xbox more than PlayStation because the BioSnow Games media is real. But now they've transitioned. Okay, the BioSnow Games media has transitioned, and now they're shilling it. All of the people that shilled God of War Ragnarok are shilling this game. It's this fucking political thing. They don't even give a shit about the game. They're grifters. Pandering to the general consensus because they looked at the front page of fucking Reddit and they thought, okay, well, Starfield's positive. Let's say positive things about it. You know, they're too fucking scared to have a backbone, too scared to share their real opinion because they don't want to lose sponsorships. It's a fucking trash-ass fucking review culture.
All right, 4.7. That is, did that just go up? I thought that was at a 4.1. Let's go see the PC version. That should be even worse. PC version, not yet seeing a score. 4.7 for this game and a 3.6 on Xbox.com. This is a flop. This is a flop. 4.7 on Metacritic.com and on Xbox.com. And those Xbox.com reviews, you can't just make an account to make those reviews. It is a 3.6 on Xbox.com right now and a 4.7 on Metacritic. It's over. How are the shills going to have any ammo? How are the shills going to have any ammo? This is a sad situation, the saddest it's ever been. 3.6 and a 4.7. I've shown you the cracks. You don't want to listen. I just put up a video today showcasing this. It's over. It's over. 4.7. But, Michael, the Steam reviews are positive. Okay. They always have. There's never negative reviews on Steam. It's always overly positive on Steam. Name one game that has negative reviews. Even something like Saints Row probably has good reviews, but it's not on Steam, I don't believe. They don't really at least at most they'll get mixed reviews. Well, if the game were great, I don't know what to tell you. It's not a fanboy thing for me. It's not a political thing for me. It's just the game design thing for me, and that's what no one's talking about, and no one cares. They want to talk about pronouns. They want to talk about this. They want to talk about that. I'm not interested in that slop. What interests me is how they fucking degraded this game, downgraded this game from previous games, from Oblivion to Fallout 4. It's inexcusable. This was a next-generation role-playing game from Bethesda with unparalleled freedom. We didn't get that. And I've shown you. And you don't care. You just want to sit around and say, well, there's a lot of shit to do in this game. Cool, there's a lot of shit to do in San Andreas. The only good GTA game.
Super chatted £5.
Jeez.
25 years in the damn oven and the gas wasn't even turned on.
Yeah.
Also big shout out to Gary from the Burning Truck Wreck for keeping the show alive.
That's what we're talking about, Gary from the grave. Well, Gary from the grave's a shill too. With these shills, they don't want to support the show. They can't be bothered to mod the show because they're mad. They're upset. I don't know why. I put more time into this game than most people. And then they want to sit there and say, well, you didn't play it right. You just rushed through the fucking story and skipped all those cutscenes. And it's like, yeah, I did because it's all fucking trash. I don't care about Sarah Morgan and, those stupid boomers are surrounding the fucking artifacts. The game's trash. I don't care about those characters. Why would I not skip? I have to care about the characters. I don't care about the characters. It's a bunch of boomers looking for artifacts to uncover the fucking center of the universe, the meaning of the unity or whatever the fuck. I don't care. I don't give a shit about that slob. You have to start off with characters that I give a shit about. How do you get people to give a shit about your characters? Well, you're going to have to figure that out. You can't just throw random characters in there and call it a day. And all the characters in this game are all the same. We did that one mission, one of the worst missions in the whole fucking game. If anyone in here has played this game, you know what I'm talking about. The Strikers. Go play that mission. It's trash. It's 4 missions long. And the boss looks like he just got out of fucking... That's supposed to be the leader, by the way. Looks like a high school gym teacher. I mean, it's so fucking stupid. The game's trash. That was one that I thought, okay, this could get really good here, the Strikers. And then it just turns into slob. They join the other faction and disappear in the game world. I'm done. I'm out. The game's trash. I thought, man, this is going to really get good. But it don't get good. It gets worse. They join the other faction and they disappear in the game world. They don't exist anymore. If you've played the mission, you know what I'm talking about. It's at Neon. Go to the bar down there. The Strikers. It's trash. It's like 4 missions long. You don't really make choices that I've seen. And they disappear at the end.
Stupid game. It was literally a disrespect to my intelligence. Could have been a great storyline. Could have been really long, but they couldn't make it work. They couldn't make it work. So let's go ahead and refresh this Metacritic right now. What? They deleted the reviews! They deleted the reviews! Oh, bro. They are censoring! They are censoring!
Snurf super chatted $10. I'm the only person in chat that played Starfield. It's 9/10 but 5/10 if you just sit in a city nitpicking NPCs.
No one's nitpicking. You're a dumbass.
And companion quests.
I've played all of the quests. There's nothing to do. I just talked about the striker missions. You stupid idiot. I beat the whole fucking game. Ooh, you didn't really beat it. I don't give a shit. I went through it. I put real time into the game. I've done the quests. I fixed satellites from Lopez. That shit's garbage. The game is trash with Reddit writing. It's fucking horrible. That's why Oblivion is superior, because it doesn't have that cringe dialogue. Like, these are the options that I have to use to reply with. It's such trash edgelord writing. Fuck off. You know, in Oblivion, you just select a topic. Fucking hell, this game is for losers. Step outside, hit the gym. Fuck, I'm outside right now. This is not a green screen. All right, let's refresh. They removed the reviews! They've literally censored the reviews because they weren't positive. If those reviews were positive, they wouldn't have deleted them. This is fucking bullshit. It's fucking bullshit, man. What the fuck? Even Xbox.com left the reviews up. 3.6 on Xbox.com. 3.6 on Xbox.com. Metacritic's fucking woke. Snowflakes over there. It's got to fit the narrative, huh? It's got to fit the narrative. We're going to delete the reviews. Bullshit! I'm done with this game, bro. I'm done with this game, and I'm done with the losers that like it, too. Fucking play the game until you fucking rot. I don't care. I'm going to go play something that's actually worth fucking while. Plenty of games coming out. Plenty of games coming out that are going to be better than this shit. Todd Howard should be fucking not impressed with this release. This is bad. It's a blemish on his legacy. Dream game, by the way. 25 years in the making. $200 million budget. Worse fucking... Everything's worse. Literally everything's worse. Literally everything is worse. There's nothing about this game that's fucking better than any other fucking Bethesda Game Studios game. Duh. Nothing is better in this game than anything that they've ever done before. Nothing. You can't find one fucking aspect. None. But Michael, you can climb ledges now. It's a 10 out of 10. Oh, that's what they've added in substitute of the NPC schedules, huh? The gunplay's worse than Fallout 4 because there's no fucking gore in this game. They don't even react. Every time I show the NPC stuff, they're like, well, no shit, the NPCs are immortal. What are you trying to show? I'm trying to show that they don't fucking react realistically,
Miles
you stupid idiot.
Super chatted $6 Canadian dollars and 99 cents. Why would they censor the reviews? This industry is really sad.
They literally deleted them, bro. They literally deleted them. There's no way. What is going on? The reload animations are trash. The gunplay is trash. Fallout 4 is better. You have gore. You have blood. You have this. You have that. You have the VAT system. The gunplay is not better in this game. You can't name one thing in Starfield that's better than even Fallout 4 or Skyrim or Oblivion or Morrowind or any other game that they fucking made. This is the worst game that they've ever made, and we're shilling it. Why? Because Lana Pierce said it was great, and you got to agree with her because you think she's going to get in bed with you? That ain't going to happen. They've deleted the reviews. They turned them off now.
Well, at least Xbox left the reviews up. It's a 3.6 on Xbox.com, and yet we're going to shill in here. Okay, buddy. Refresh. Oh, my God. Click the tab, user reviews. Okay. I don't know how to work this website. I don't look at this shit much. Why would I need to see it outside of the initial score? I'm clicking the tab. There's no reviews.
Max May super chat is $9.99. Rip got Howard.
Max Payne coming through. It is a, with a $10 super chat, it is a 5.0 on PC. It is a 5.0 on PC. Let's read some of these reviews here. Arguably, oh my God. Arguably the worst single-player Bethesda game ever made. Terrible soapy graphics with green filter that makes your eyes tired. NPCs are terribly stupid. Quests are not interesting, and there's a lot of loading screens, outdated graphics, and the game is not optimized. Terribly boring game, and it's not an RPG. It's not worth 100 euros for me. Bethesda is completely dead. It's over. That review was spot on. See, it's not just me with this opinion. I'm tired of these losers coming in here and singling me out like, oh, Mockley got them eyes that look fucking 40 different directions. Well, that just means when I go to the strip club, I can see two women at once. You can. But you're probably not into women, right? Well, that's okay. I'm not either. Nonetheless, Starfield 5.0 on PC. You're not listening! I need you to subscribe to the channel right now. Because we have a world exclusive tonight that you're not going to find anywhere else. We have the day one edition of Cyberpunk. No one has that. No one has that. It doesn't exist. I made sure not to update it because it was a collector's edition. Just like Star Wars Jedi. I have the day one edition of Star Wars Jedi. You literally cannot get that anywhere. It doesn't exist anymore. Everyone's updated their Star Wars Jedi Survivor. I have the day one edition of Star Wars Jedi Survivor. I have a collector's edition of Star Wars Jedi Survivor. The day one patch, not the current update, because you can't play it off the disc, so you can't roll it back. Shut up! Oh, I'm going to move this chat. Let's refresh this here and see what's going on. Let's refresh this here and see what's going on. Oh my God, bro. PC user scores. Why is it disappearing? There's only one review now. They've deleted all of them. Starfield, a game that fell short of the promises made like many before it. Bethesda shows us again that marketing means more than development. The facial animation is just a disgrace. Why is it so bad? A Redfall from space. And you know what? Quite frankly, I think Redfall is better than this game. I'm not even trolling. I mean, if we were to compare Redfall, I don't know how you would really compare that because it's a bit of a different game. I mean, from what I remember, Redfall, you have a hub, but so it would be a little tricky to compare. But I'm telling you, Redfall is more advanced in this game. A Redfall from space, lies, loading screens, lies. They promised a lot of things, but delivered almost nothing. It's another Bethesda game. This guy gives it a 10. I'm not reading 10s. I'm not reading 10s, okay? I'm not reading 10s. Not reading 10s. You got to be down real bad to say this is a 10 out of 10. You got to be down real bad to say this is a 10 out of 10. Even Doc didn't say that last time I checked. This is the worst game that they've made. You can't defend this game. You cannot... Tell me in this chat right now what this game does better than Fallout 4. Tell me in this chat right now what this game does better than Skyrim. Go! You can't. You can't. You can't. And don't bring the quantity excuse. Well, it's got more dialogue, Michael, and the major cities are bigger than they are in Skyrim. That doesn't count. We're not running with the quantity over quality argument because it's stupid. Name one thing in this game. Name one thing in Starfield that is better than it was in Fallout 4. That was better than it was in Skyrim. Go. Space. No, that doesn't count. That doesn't count. Nope. Nope. Name one feature. Name one feature. The Adoring Fan. The Adoring Fan is woke now. The Adoring... No. The Adoring... Don't get me started on the Adoring Fan. You have to pick something in the menu to unlock the Adoring Fan. So instead of doing a quest, don't get me started on the Adoring Fan. Don't do it, because I'm done with the game. It's trash. Anyone defending the game is a loser, an absolute loser. I'm done with it. You have to pick the Adoring Fan in the menu. And in Oblivion, and we just did this the other night, you have to go through the arena, and then he comes out at the end out of nowhere. You cannot defend this slop. You have to pick the Adoring Fan, and here I was thinking, like, we just got to do some, like, secret fucking quest. And he appears, we have to, like, do something. We have to, like, But that's not the case. You just pick shit from the menu. It's not an RPG. It's a looter-shooter with RPG-light elements. There you go. Oh, it's an RPG, Michael. It's an RPG. I'm an Xbox fan. Well, I'm going to go over to 4 channel and chill it. I bet your ass is. Done with it, bro. I'm done with the shill campaign. It's disgusting. I mean, if the game were great, I wouldn't really care. Unfortunately, it's not. And when the Chromcat video comes out, I don't want to see you guys switching sides, because I know you will. You guys will be fucking switching sides. Like, I always knew that game was trash. I always knew that game was trash. Just look at it. It's got the PS1 graphics, Michael. Yeah, here you are in here today, shilling this slop. Oh my God! A 4.7!
Joshua and Trump super chatted 5
Let's go!
Try out Elite Dangerous if you want a better Starfield, fellas.
Exactly. And I think that's on console, right? There you go. 4.7. Holy shit, it's over. Whew. 4.7. 4.7. And this is one of the only sites where you can actually voice your opinion before it's upvoted or downvoted. There's not many sites where you can literally share your opinion. I'm not even trolling. That's why 4channel is popular and V. Because you can go over there and say shit, and then people say, well, you're just shitposting. And it's like, no, we're not shitposting. It's trash. It's not a... What you want me to tell you? I mean, shit. So this might be one of the only other sites where you can actually share your opinion without getting it censored. Unbelievable. 4.7. It's over. Guys, on the top, it's a 3.6 on Xbox.com. You don't believe me? You can go refresh it yourself. It's over. The gamers have spoken. Right yet again. Didn't want to be. I mean, that's a Game Pass game. Yeah, if you're already subscribed to Game Pass and you're not going out of your way to subscribe to Game Pass just for the slop, then yeah, play it. I mean, you'll have some fun. But let's not beat around the bush. The game's trash. You can't name one feature that this game does better. Oh, the ledge mechanic. That's it. Okay, buddy. Literally nothing is better. Literally nothing is better. Fallout 4 has better gunplay. Fallout 4, the NPCs are on schedules. The NPCs actually react in Fallout 4. We've shown you this side by side, and everyone takes fucking drugs in here, and they get into like this comatose fucking, they get into this like weird state where they're just like, oh, and they don't watch. I'm showing you how trash the game is, and you're not looking at it. Oh, they're just fake reviews. Quit moving the goalposts. What are you going to say about Chromcat? You guys tried to cancel Chromcat when Chromcat came out with his fucking base take on Resident Evil 4 Demake, and you guys were like, oh, fuck Chromcat, he's trash. The fuck? You don't know what soul is. Let's give it a refresh here.
Well, it's just the PlayStation fanboys. They're upset they can't play it. No, they're not upset. We don't want this on PlayStation.
You would really want this game on PlayStation? Hell no. They can leave that shit on Trashbox. Keep that shit on Game Pass. Here we go with more weird takes. Get this guy out of here.
Super chatted $10. Sony fangirls are down voting the game. Irrelevant site. The game is great. Anything under a 7 is a troll and they might need to go back to the asylum and see better.
You cannot say you're a fan of Todd Howard. You cannot say you're a fan of Bethesda Game Studios when you can't see the flaws. You're clearly influenced by the honeymoon phase. They have ads on Metacritic right now for Starfield. That's why they were deleting reviews earlier. How can you be a fan of Fallout 4? How can you be a fan of Skyrim? How can you be a fan of Morrowind? How can you be a fan of Oblivion? How can you be a fan of Fallout 3 and say that this is just as good as those games? Well, it's different, Michael. It's different. Yeah, it is different, but it's fucking not changed for the better. Because the basic fundamentals aren't even the fucking same. They couldn't even get them up to the par of Skyrim from inferior hardware. This is a next-generation RPG. That's what was advertised on next-generation hardware exclusively. Todd Howard said, hey, if you got an old PC, you got to fucking upgrade. Okay, well, as such, I expect more. We got less. We literally got less. You don't want to listen to me? Well, if Chromecat makes the video, he's going to fucking show you. I've tried to show you. You guys don't listen. You don't understand, Michael. That's always been in a Bethesda game. The NPCs are immortal. That's not what I was showing. That's not what I was showing. Guess that's a problem. But that's not what I was showing. I was showing how they weren't reacting realistically and how everything just stops and they walk into walls. This game is absolute trash. But let's continue the shill campaign because it makes us feel better about ourselves. I guess I'm going to have to start the shill campaign for every release moving forward. You know, Mortal Kombat 1's coming out. Let's see if Ed Boon has hit that fucking home run. He's been making the same game for 35 years, Ed Boon. So what's new in the new Mortal Kombat? Nothing. You got Batista in it now or some shit. Okay, cool. You're just playing as cosplayers now. Actors in cosplay Mortal Kombat outfits. That's Mortal Kombat the game. There's no character or soul to it anymore, and everything's got to be ultra realistic. We got to scan models and put those models in our game. That's fucking trash. But you guys want to show Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat! Let's refresh this and see if it went down. 4.7 on Metacritic, 4.7 on Metacritic. That's a great score for this game. That's where it deserves. That's what it belongs to. It's a trash game. And it has nothing to do with it being on Xbox for me. It has nothing to do with the political bullshit. Okay, I don't care if it has woke themes. It does. I don't care. I really don't care. Because if the game were great, I'd fucking throw that shit on the back burner and say it doesn't matter. Guess what? The game isn't great. You know, I gave it a 6.5 out of 10. It might have to go lower than that. After I played the Strikers mission, I was done. I was done. Because it spat in my face and said, fuck you. You want the RPG? We're not giving it to you here. We're giving you a looter shooter. I don't want to play a looter shooter. If I wanted to play a looter shooter, I'd go play fucking Borderlands with that slop writing. The worst writing in those games. Oh, Lord. I hate Borderlands, bro. You want to talk about something I actually hate? Borderlands. I don't want to see Borderlands ever again. This shit's trash. Horrible games. Trash-ass games, bro. I hate Borderlands, bro. Not playing that slop. And every game wants to copy that formula. Every game wants to copy that formula. Oh, let's copy Destiny. Destiny is a snooze fest. Destiny is a snooze fest. It's a constant busy work grind session. And people find that fun. Then go get a job. Because you're doing the same thing. The fun has been extracted from the software. That is the problem. It's not about making a fun game anymore. It's about we have a political agenda and we're pushing it. It's all it's about these days. It's not about having fun. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. They're not allowed to have fun anymore, even if they want to. There's too much at stake. They don't want to offend anyone anymore. It's an all-inclusive thing. Okay? Still a 4.7. It's over, guys. These are the reviews right here. You want to claim it's just PlayStation fanboys downvoting this stuff. That's not the reality. The game is slop. You think Spider-Man 2 is going to have these user scores? No. No, it won't. You really think, guys, the game is bad. It's got N64 graphics. Literally, take a look at the waterfall in New Atlantis if you don't believe me. Well, you're not supposed to go look at the waterfall like that. I'm not a weirdo. I play my games normally, Michael. You're just a fucking weirdo nitpicking shit. Well, if you don't care about the environment, then just go in and delete it. Open the creation kit and delete it. Fuck off.
Miles Kino super chatted $6 I'm seriously done with this industry. First we have DRM on Xbox, which should be
yeah. I don't even think you can play this offline. So if you go out and buy a disc, I don't think you can play it offline.
It's time for a video game crash.
It's over. First Bethesda game to feature that as well. You can't play it offline. I mean, you can, but not you can't just put the disc in and play it offline. From what I've heard. So no one's talking about that either. No one cares. Everyone's playing digital. Sad situation. It's over. It's a 4.7. It's a 3.6 on Xbox.com. Who was right? Oh, they're just review bombing it, Michael. Wait a few days and it'll settle out and the review scores will be real. Look at the Steam reviews, Michael. They're mostly positive. Look at the Steam reviews, Michael. They're mostly positive. Look at the Steam reviews, Michael. They're mostly positive. Yeah, well, that's generally how Steam works. Most of the games have always positive reviews. Name one game that has trash reviews on Steam. Not many. Even the games that have been, I mean, Redfall on Steam probably has, like, mixed reviews at best. I'll look that up right now because I believe it is on. Let me look at the Redfall reviews on Steam just to prove my point. Redfall, Steam. Redfall on Steam. Mostly negative? Okay. Literally, Redfall is better than this game. I'm not even trolling. I can go into Redfall tonight and show you. I'm not even joking. I'd rather play Redfall. If I'm just going to play a looter shooter, I'd rather play Redfall. It's got fucking vampires. That's cool. And I'm sure by now they'd throw out a few patches. I mean, I don't know. Shit. And if we're going to play a looter shooter, I want at least an interesting fucking thing going on. We got fucking vampires in Redfall. The whole fucking town's overtaken by vampires. The whole fucking ocean's frozen. I don't know. I want to play that instead.
Snurf super chatted $10. Anyone that doesn't like the game need to off themselves off this planet.
Shut up, you fat ass!
Like Last of Us and
You're 45
War,
years old in your parents' basement, buddy.
Folks in chat.
God, you have no spine. I've shown you the cracks and you don't want to listen. I'm done. If you don't want to listen to me, well, just wait for the Chromcat video if that's coming.
666 super chatted $10. I'm sure that Todd Sweet Lil Lies Howard pocketed the 7.5 billion, and I'm pretty sure he.
Well, they outsourced the game. That's the problem with the game. Bethesda didn't even make the game. Look at the credits.
People wrestling, people wrestling, people wrestling, people wrestling, people wrestling, people wrestling.
Look at the credits.
I've asked you time and time again, name one feature in Starfield that is better than what it is in Fallout 4, that is better than what it is in Skyrim, that is better than what it is in Fallout 3, that is better than what it is in Oblivion. You can't name one feature. It doesn't exist. There's nothing about this that is better. There's literally nothing. Literally.
Miles Kino super chatted $6
Graphics don't count.
Cents. It'll literally knock out whoever moved the user scores to a tab on Metacritic. What a sorry paid for Parasite.
Wait, what happened? No, they did not. Oh no! I'm making accounts. Why is it going up? I'm making Metacritic accounts all day. They're going to shill this shit on there too. I'm done. I'm done. Guys, it's on Xbox.com, 3.6. What about that? Don't you understand? Yeah, some people actually like the game. Well, that goes both ways, sweetheart. Just because you like it doesn't mean that it's objectively good. Same over here. Just because I dislike it doesn't mean it's objective. Well, wait a minute, it does. Because guess what? I've shown you objectively the game is worse than its predecessor. Well, Michael, this doesn't have a predecessor. This is an all-new IP, an all-new experience. Yeah, it certainly is. It certainly is. Guys, we don't have much battery left, 13%. We got 13% battery left out here, and I'm going to tell you what, folks, we're going to be back later tonight with this game. And we're going to be comparing it to Cyberpunk, and not just any version of Cyberpunk, okay? Everyone's already done that before. The thing is that we're going to be comparing it to the day one version of Cyberpunk. Not what's on the disc, but the day one patch. Very rare, very exclusive. I never updated the application after I had the day one patch installed for Cyberpunk. So we left it as is, and you can't get that version again. So we're going to be playing Cyberpunk, the PS4 version, on the PS5 with the day one patch. And we're going to see which game is better. And you're going to be surprised. You're going to be surprised. So it is an exclusive. You won't see this anywhere else, literally. Because people have already compared it to Cyberpunk, but those videos aren't great because they're using the updated version of Cyberpunk. I have a version that no one else has. I have the day one edition. Not the one that's on the disc. You can get that. I got the day one update that came out December 9th, 2020. And you're going to be blown away. Very shocked and surprised. So we will be comparing that later tonight. Yeah, it's just looter shooter, looter shooter. That's all they do now. Run to the checkpoint, looter shooter. That's not a story. In Oblivion, you're jumping into fucking paintings and shit. That's fucking creative. That's outside the box. Well, the gamers don't want that, though. The gamers don't want that. That's not what sells. That's not sexy. Okay, well. Now they're just making looter shooters. Might as well play Redfall. I'd literally rather play Redfall. Much more interesting than that space aspect. I don't care. You know, space is boring. And they don't even have aliens in the game. It's dumb. You know, in Fallout fucking 4, you can see a UFO in the ground. But they wanted to go the realistic route. Why? Because NASA said, hey, you got to make this realistic? It seems like that's the fucking case. I mean, obviously there's some fantasy elements, no doubt about it. But, I mean, you know, maybe because NASA is involved with the game, I mean, they obviously had to get their approval to put them in the game. Maybe maybe that put them in a box. All right, let's go ahead and refresh. 5.1, guys. If that goes up, if I check that later tonight and that's all the way up, I'm making accounts and I'm gonna. It's not. It shouldn't be going up. The shield campaign's sad. Dr. Disrespect loves the game. That's not true. That's not true. He's using clickbait as sarcasm. You don't understand. I've watched him stream the game, bro. Okay, and believe me, he was not having a fun time. Go to the stream last night and listen to his final thoughts. Skim to the very end. Skip to the very end, bro. He doesn't like the game. Or at very least, he thinks it's mid. At most, I mean, he thinks it's probably mid. That's last I heard. He said it was a 7, I think. Unless he's changed his mind. Okay. Check PC reviews. We don't have much time left, folks. We're at 9%, so we will be back later tonight. We're going to be booting up Cyberpunk, a very rare exclusive edition of Cyberpunk that no one else is going to show you, folks. I'm not making that up. We have the day one edition of Cyberpunk on PS4 on PS5. I know that's complicated, but we're going to be running the PS4 version on PS5, and it's the day one edition. Not what's on the disc, but the day one patch that came out December 9, 2020. And the reason why you want to run it on PS5 is because it has the SSD, and the rendering issues aren't really a thing, despite it being, an inferior version, obviously. But you're going to be very surprised. You guys thought Cyberpunk was bad, and don't get me wrong, it was a total and mega disaster, but Starfield is right up there with it. All right, let's go ahead and refresh, folks at home. Let's go ahead and refresh. We got a 5.1. Let's go check the PC score here. Woo! The PC score for Starfield is a 4.7. Holy shit. That is unbelievable. That is unbelievable. Let's go ahead and look at this here. 4.7. For the PC version of Starfield. Cyberpunk had 1 million bugs day one? Really? Well, we'll be playing version 1.02. It's a version you can't get anymore, especially on PS5. That's literally impossible to get. On PS4, there might be a way to roll it back. But on PS5, you can. And we're going to be playing the PS4 version, because obviously at that time it didn't, the PS5 version didn't come out. So we're playing the PS4 version on PS5, and that way the rendering shit is fixed because of the SSD. However, the game is obviously still in the shape that it was in when it came out on December 10th, 2020. So we're going to be comparing the day one edition of Cyberpunk on PS4 running on PS5 versus Starfield, which has never been done before, literally, because this version you cannot get. The only way that you can get it is if you didn't update the application, and I didn't update the application. And I also have a very rare edition of Star Wars Jedi Survivor. The day one version of Star Wars Jedi Survivor have not updated. That game never will, because you can't get that edition anymore. So that's, they launched it in a broken condition, and, we'd like to come back to that version. You can't, because some of these games, you have to go on the internet. And when, you go out and buy the disc, you can't just play it off the disc. With some of these games, it's becoming more common. Yeah, and you have to download the update. Well, the update's going to come with the latest version, so you can't roll it back. You can't get the day one edition. So if you'd like to see that, make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you turn on the notification bells. We're going to be comparing Cyberpunk Day 1 Edition running on PS5, but it's the PS4 version, Day 1 Edition. This is something you're not going to see anywhere else. And we're going to be comparing it to Starfield, because I've tried to play Starfield on its own, and it is a total snooze. You literally start yawning when you play this game. The quests are so boring. All the characters are intolerable. And as you can see, the user scores here are bad. So this isn't me. This is just what's out there, okay? I mean, it's really there. This is what it is. I mean, this is how it stands right now anyway. So, I mean, maybe that score will go up, but right now this is where it stands. And the top right-hand corner of your screen right up here is the Xbox.com reviews. So clearly the gamers are not seeing it how the shill campaign is. The user scores, and granted, there is some trolling, I'm sure, with the user scores here, but, I think that'll settle down a tad bit.
Well, the Cyberpunk update is coming, and it's free. You don't understand. The Phantom Liberty expansion is what costs, but the 2.0 update is including most of the improvements for free. If you want extra content, though, that's what the Phantom Liberty comes in. But the improvements are going to be updated for free in the 2.0 update. They're coming for free. But if you want the new content, the new stories, the new characters, the new all that, that's the Phantom Liberty DLC. But you don't have to pay for some of those improvements because they're coming for they're coming with the 2.0 patch for free if you already own Cyberpunk. Guys, I'm not going to continue discussing it. Guys, if you disagree, that's okay. We're going to be covering different games in the next week or so. I mean, there's tons of releases coming out. I was thinking about covering NBA 2K. But since I found my copy of Cyberpunk, I thought, well, we don't need to really cover that. And next week, I think there's some big games coming. I can't remember, but I know Liza P is on the horizon. We might check that out. I played the demo for that, and I thought that was pretty solid graphically as well. Seemed like a pretty good clone Dark Souls game. And it's on Game Pass Day 1, so, I think that might be better than Starfield. I already played it, great graphics. It's kind of like Bloodborne with kind of its theme. Very interesting, but very hard and challenging, and that's what people expect with those type of games. Yeah, the Bean game looks cool. That looked kind of cool. Guys, we got 4%. We're going to be wrapping this up very shortly here. We got 4%. Going to be wrapping this up very shortly here. Starfield is not that bad. It's just disappointing. Well, I didn't say it was the worst thing in the world, but it's something that, they keep shilling it. It's just like I can't. It's just hard for me to find any enjoyment out of it, especially with the shilling campaign just being so fucking hard. It's like, why are people defending something they like? Just shut up and play it. Why would you care about what anyone else thinks anyway? If you're enjoying it, that's all that matters. You're not alone. Clearly, people enjoy the game. Most people do. It's an 87. That's not bad. It's not, like, spectacular, but, it's an 87. That's pretty positive. Okay. But, anytime you point out anything with this game, the shills have to remind you, like, oh, you're so fucking wrong. You're playing the game wrong. Who cares if the NPCs are immortal? That's not what I'm showing. It's not what I'm showing. Do I have to overtalk every video and narrate every fucking thing that I do in the video to explain to you guys what I'm showing? I'm not showing that the NPCs are immortal. No shit. I'm talking about the fact how they don't react. Dude, I just played Fallout 4 and they're reacting realistically. She got the baseball bat out in Fallout 4 and started attacking. That's what I'm expecting. We don't even get that in freaking Starfield. Now, granted, it could be a bug. I don't know. I'm not a game dev. But there's still no update. What the hell is Bethesda doing? So, if they can roll out an update and iron some of this shit out, yeah, that would be an improvement. And we'll highlight those improvements. I'm not a hater. I'll highlight the improvements. But I don't know if those improvements are coming. I don't know what the plan is, so we'll have to wait and see. But right now, that's where the game stands. And the user scores, yeah, there's probably a lot of trolling here. But the Xbox.com scores, you can't make free accounts to score, review that. You have to either buy the game or subscribe to Game Pass, which the game is on, so that counts as well, I believe. And it's a 3.6 on Xbox.com. You can't make free accounts on there and review the game without buying it on Xbox.com. On the Xbox Store. And on Metacritic right now, it's a 4.7. So there you have it. Not great, but we'll see over time what happens. I know there is a lot of fanboy stuff and a lot of, other reasons as well. But, we'll see how it ultimately unfolds. So with that said, we'll be back later tonight comparing a very exclusive version of Cyberpunk that you're not going to see literally anywhere else up against Starfield, and you might be surprised. So with that said, that is going to do it for today, for here. We'll be back later with Cyberpunk versus Starfield, an exclusive version of Cyberpunk that you're not going to see anywhere else. So make sure you subscribe, turn the notification bells on, and we will see you then. But that's going to do it for now. Appreciate you guys for tuning in, tagging along, supporting the show, And with that said, it's over.